Hey Mosaic, it's Manyoki, and I am speaking to you from our currently being renovated Red Room. And if you haven't heard so far, we are meeting at the park every Wednesday to kind of talk about issues that are happening in our lives, dig into scripture and grow together, but also an opportunity for you guys to meet with us. So as you watch this video, know that starting today, which is Wednesday, we will be either at Mance Buchanon or at Buddy Todd. You can meet in one or the two locations, doesn't matter what grade you're in, to just hang out. And we encourage you to bring a blanket or a chair, some water, and feel free to invite friends, but masks are required the entire time. So just be aware of that. If you come without a mask, we're gonna have to send you home. As we start this conversation, I wanted to kind of consider the fact that we are now stuck in a world that is primarily on your phones or on your computer, where every day and every night you're probably spending more and more time, and especially as school is about to come back around. And I know we're in the middle of summer, but school is just around the corner, and most schools are saying you're gonna be on your computer for 5, 6, 7 hours a day. And beforehand, 10, 20 years ago, that would have been unheard of, but now it's kind of like the expected norm. And so we have to be able to switch our thinking that says that what we do online doesn't matter as much as what we do in person. Because right now, online means in person. That's the reality of it. And if we don't take a handle of it, then we can come across the wrong way. See, the online world is all about perspectives. What perspectives do you want to play in the world around us? So do you want to be a person that just watches and just watches things and says they're funny? Are you the person that shares funny content? Or are you the person that puts mean content or funny comments on YouTube or on a Facebook video or Instagram video? Are you a sharer? As you see things, you just share them. Regardless of who you are in that spectrum of online participation, we have a responsibility as Christians to be excellent ambassadors and representatives of God's kingdom. It doesn't matter if you are like, you know what, I don't want to be online, and so I'm going to just do it because I'm forced, or you're a person that goes like, you know, the online world is where I live. If you believe in Jesus, if you said you want to follow him, if you want to better your life in the way that he sees fit, then there is a responsibility that you have to who you are online and what you do. That's going to be our conversation for the next 6 weeks. Hopefully to challenge you and to encourage you to step up your game in who you are online. During this time, we're going to call out some things. What's the value of having a spam account? Can you really hide who you are online? What perspective are you trying to give out? Are you actually fulfilling the Great Commission with your friends online? Are you representing yourself in the way that Jesus would desire you to, the way that you desire you to? And in the midst of that, there's going to be two sides, the religious side and the faithful side. And to me, I put those two in two categories because religion isn't a bad thing, but religions are based on rules and faith is based on trust. And if you're going to be a person that your whole mode of Christianity is based on rules, then you will find this conversation difficult. See, in Matthew 23, Jesus is talking to the rule bringers of ancient Israel. They're called the Pharisees, and all they did was tell people what they had to do in order to follow God. Not so much like, hey, be in a relationship with him, get to know him, know his character, but so much more what you eat, where you sleep, what you do on Saturdays, what you do on Sundays, certain holidays in the year where you had to drop everything. And so it was rule after rule after rule after rule, and it just killed people from the inside out. And the word he used for those leaders was hypocrites, because on the outside, they would be covered with these rules that make them look amazing. But on the inside, there's no relationship there, so they're dead. In Matthew 23:27, he calls them whitewashed tombs. And essentially what he's referring to is outside the city of Jerusalem, there was a hill where people would go and bury people that had just died so that their bodies would go from being flesh to just bones. And after a while, you would take the bones out and you'd go bury them somewhere else and that tomb would be used again. Now, this is a place known for death, but in ancient Israel, they decided that they wanted that place to look nice. And so they would whitewash it or paint it with limestone. And what limestone does is it takes whatever stone that is there and makes it a beautiful white. And so this place of death was painted white to look pure, even though on the inside, death and decay was happening. And he looks at the people who are the rule bringers, who just follow the rules, who just make it hard on everybody else to have a conversation with God, to get to know him at their own pace, at their own stage, and says, you know what? You guys are like those tombs. You look amazing on the outside. You have everything dressed the right way. You know everything. But on the inside, you're dead. On the inside, you're making things difficult for everyone. On the inside, maybe you don't even have a relationship with that same God. And so as you meet us at the park, hopefully, either Buddy Todd or Mance Buchanan, we're going to start this conversation going like, hey, what is religion and what is faith? How do those look to you? Are you more of a religious person or you're more of a faithful person? There are certain characteristics of somebody that is religious, and there are certain characteristics of someone that is faithful. And my prayer for you as we start this series is that you would be somebody that would strive after faith, not religion, but faith. A complete trust and confidence in the promises and character of God that leads you to relationships rather than religion. A set of rules and guidelines that puts you in a good standing. So where do you sit? Religion or faith? See you soon.